Hey guys, it's Kate and welcome to my first actually long YouTube video that I have posted in a while. I know I've been very active on YouTube Shorts lately, but I thought today it was a good time to sit down on the floor in front of these beautiful orange lights and film a longer video for you guys, especially because today's topic is something I'm very passionate about and I have looked into it for over 2 years at this point, and that is the law of assumption. More specifically, in this video, I will be talking about how I personally manifest as an autistic person using the law of assumption to help my fellow autistic people out there get their desires. Before I start, I do want to give a couple of disclaimers, with the first being that I am not a trained manifestation coach and I do not intend on becoming a law of assumption coach. Most of my information has been borrowed from actual coaches, and my two go-to coaches that I will recommend for either coaching or more information after this video is over, or both if you want, are Sammy Ingram and Hyler. They are just the best of the best law of assumption YouTubers, or just law of assumption people across the whole internet, honestly. They are amazing. They explain everything probably better than I could ever dream of doing, and yeah, I highly recommend checking them out if you want to look for more info. Secondly, I do want to acknowledge that many people prefer to practice the law of attraction, and many people don't believe in manifesting in general. In either case, that's fine. I just want to say that I know that this is not the video for everybody. So if this is not your cup of tea, feel free to skip this video. I love you guys so much and your support means a lot to me regardless of what types of videos of mine you choose to watch. So with that being said, let me give you guys a brief summary of the law of assumption and some tips and tricks of how I manifest with it as an autistic person. So here's a basic definition of the law of assumption. The law of assumption is basically a simplified version of the law of attraction that is mainly based on one principle: affirmations. Affirmations are a fancier word for a thought, but affirmations are usually more associated with repeating rather than the random thoughts that just float around in your head. Basically, with the law of assumption, you basically affirm the same thought over and over in your head, repeat the same thought over and over in your head until your subconscious mind thinks of it as true and then brings it out into your 3D world or your reality. And with that being said, here are a few of my tips and tricks to help other autistic people who believe in the law of assumption manifest. So the first tip I have for you guys is to get rid of your limiting beliefs. Now, I know that everyone who practices the law of assumption, whether you're autistic or not, has some sort of experience with their own limiting beliefs. However, in this video, I will be discussing the limiting beliefs pertaining to autism and how it affects manifesting. For example, when I was younger in my biology class or some class like that, I learned that autistic people's brains are a little bit different structurally than non-autistic people's brains. And earlier on in life, like in our infancy, our brains develop a little differently than non-autistic people's. So this resulted in me thinking things like being autistic makes it harder for me to manifest, and I can't manifest because I'm autistic. And if I feel this way, I bet someone else who's autistic and practices the law of assumption has these same thoughts. What I did, I flipped them. I flipped them to better thoughts, like being autistic makes it easier for me to manifest, and I am the best at manifesting because I'm autistic. Perception is a big part of reality, and I feel like the more you repeat something positive the more I've repeated positive things like about my autism and how being autistic makes it easier for me to manifest, the more success I have seemed to experience. All right, tip number 2, have a designated journal for manifestation. This is amazing. This has been a lifesaver for me, especially because while I don't have as much of a problem with this anymore, back when I was younger, I used to suffer with a lot of intrusive thoughts. So having a designated manifestation journal helped me organize my thoughts. And it helped me basically write down I would basically write down the same affirmation over and over again on a page and then read it off a couple of times, because that helped my mind stay focused on that particular affirmation, and it helped me stay anchored and grounded to that affirmation instead of wandering off to something else. This next tip is one of my absolute favorites, and while it is more commonly associated with the law of attraction, I feel like it can help with the law of assumption too, and I will explain why. This tip is make a vision board. The reason I say to make a vision board is that it is commonly known that a lot of autistic people think in pictures. I think in pictures. I can visualize pretty easily. Sometimes I do have too many intrusive thoughts to visualize when I'm manifesting, so I prefer making a vision board to just lay out images of what I want and have an idea of what I am manifesting instead of trying to conjure it up in my head while visualizing and trying to repeat my affirmations at the same time. I will say you have to be consistent with your affirmations, and doing a vision board without repeating your affirmations isn't going to help you. I just suggest it because a vision board can be a great motivator for helping you repeat your affirmations, and it can also, like I said before, give you an idea of what you're looking for and what you want while you're affirming. This last tip I have for you guys is probably the most important one and beneficial one, at least to me in my experience, and that is take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. I know that having a good self-concept and self-perception in the law of assumption is not the end-all be-all to get your desires, but regardless, self-care is so important. I personally, in my experience, I have realized that external things and getting everything I want will not make me happy until I have a good self-image. And that's mainly what I've been working on. I know that is kind of a limiting belief, but it is a belief that has helped me and has driven me to have a better self-concept and self-image. So yeah, just take care of yourself. Just take care of yourself. If you struggle with self-esteem, even if you're manifesting something else, let's say you're manifesting money. Even if you're manifesting money and affirming for money a lot, say I have $1 million, I have $1 million, I have $1 million, maybe set aside a couple brackets of 10 minutes each day to focus on self-concept and remind yourself of how loved you are and remind yourself of your good qualities, and basically take care of yourself. We are humans, and we do have bad days, and one of the best ways to get through those bad days is to recognize how amazing you really are. And adding on to that, don't put anyone or anything above yourself. Well, if you want to help someone, that's fine. I don't mean it like that. What I mean is don't spend so much time focusing on someone or something else that it wrecks your own self-image. There've been a lot of times in the past where I've had a crush on someone and I focused on that person and obsessed over that person so much that I forgot about myself, didn't take care of myself, and ruined my self-image. Thankfully, I've gotten better now, and my self-image right now is probably better than ever. So don't do that. Don't ever put a significant other, especially above you. And remember, you guys are amazing. Each and every one of you is an amazing person in your own way, and everyone on this planet deserves to experience something good in this world, and nobody should be able to take that self-validation away from anybody. But yeah, those are all of the manifesting tips I have for you guys today. But before I go, I do want to remind you guys that manifesting is not a one-size-fits-all approach. Most of these tips benefit me, but they might not help you at all. So if that is the case and you guys would like me to talk about some other tips that might help you and look into those, feel free to comment your suggestions and I should get back to you, and maybe it'll turn into a part 2. But anyways, I love you guys so much. I appreciate you making it to the end of this video. And yeah, I will see you all very, very soon. Bye!